Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm the manager at Venvi Art Gallery, and I'm here with Nan Liu today to talk about his exhibit Locales, North Florida's Plein Landscapes at Venvi Art Gallery. It will be on display until January 18th, 2025. Hey Nan, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for inviting me to have this interview. I'm glad to be here. I think Venvi Gallery is really a nice experience for a show.
Yeah, no problem. Well, can you tell us a little bit about Locales?
In this exhibition, I think I include about 30 pieces, plein air painting of local Florida scenes. Mostly, I painted from 2010 to now, and some are include the gardens and lakes. I lived in this area. I teach at FMU art program, so outside of my teaching, I start painting in summer, spring break, winter holiday. So I travel around from local Lake Jackson. I started, and then to Lake Tallahassee, Lafayette, then Carabel, Apalachicola, East Point, and St. George Island. And all of this area, I can drive around 1 hour, 2 hours. So I try to catch the beauty surrounding me.
Nature is an overall theme in your works. What aspects of nature do you convey in your works?
In Florida, I think I try to catch the lush color of the landscape, especially the water, the flower and trees. Like the summertime, this summer I paint the lily, the lotus, so beautiful. And when I see the blue of the color from the ocean, even the boat in Mill Pond, Apalachicola, I see those old shrimp boats, fishing boat, as all the man-made artifacts and the nature interact together. So I try to catch that beauty.
Could you describe your creative process?
When I paint the plein air, I try to stretch my own canvas in my studio. At the FMU, I stretch using the stretcher bar, the canvas, using the cotton duck or linen canvas. And then I stretch it, gesso it, make the 3 layers gesso, sand it between each layers. Then I carry the size. I make a bunch of them, maybe 20, 30 canvas during the summer. Then before I start paint, I have plenty canvas ready. Then I go out, some spots I want to paint. For example, the Lake Lafayette. Like every uh, every night after dinner, sometime my wife and my kids walk there. I go with them. So I love the place. So the lotus, the water, the sky, the cloud. So like early spring when I finish my teaching at FMU, I just go out and then relax. Painting is part of my relax time. So I sit there looking around. Oh, I found that spot. I always walk around for a location. For example, like the Lake Tennessee. When I walk next to the shore, I see that lotus blossom in the summer. Oh, that's beautiful. The color, the yellow, the texture of the leaves, the reflection from the sky. So that's triggered my motivation to paint. If you had no feeling, I couldn't paint. So I have the more motivation. Oh, I want to paint that. I want to catch that light. So I go back home, pick up the canvas with my tripod. I just go there and try to pick up my brush. I always have a wet on wet technique, just kind of not waiting for the underneath paint to dry. I just go pick up, use a burnt umber, the brown color to start outline the shape. Always have the horizontal line or the depths from background to the middle ground and the foreground. Usually like 1 or 2 layers, that's it. Plein air, you couldn't wait too long. Yeah. So everything you finish in one set. 2 hours, that's it. And maybe sometimes it's a larger canvas. The biggest one I painted in the show is this one is a 36 by 36. That take me 2 to 3 days. Yeah. Same period of time, I go back. Like for example, like 10 to 12 o'clock, I just come back next day. Same if the weather is same. If not, I'll wait a little bit. But always in a short period of time to catch the same lights.
Yeah. And how long have you worked in plein air?
I started from 2004 when I was in graduate school at the FSU MFA program. One of my classmates, we went out to Lake Jackson. A very cold winter, January. I fall in love into that landscape, the grassland, the cloud, the lake, the water. Oh, I think that's really a paradise. So I start pick up a small canvas like a 18 by 16 by 18 inches. I start painting. That's on my website. You can check. So in 2 hours, I finished one. Oh, I feel accomplished something, and then I put it back in my studio. That time at the Appleyard warehouse, MFA student have an individual studio, so I have a studio space. So I always displayed my painting after the whole day. I come back, I put a couple pieces on the wall. So I feel something down. Then later on, I have the group critique. The professor come in to look at my works on Friday. They like my painting from Lake Jackson, so I keep painting. During the graduate school, I created about over 30 or 40 paintings around that area. 2004 to 5.
Oh, wow. And how did you discover plein air?
Plein air, I think from impressionist
Yeah.
in France, it's a French term like open air. So artists come out from the studio and paint under the sunlight, like Monet. Remember the cathedral he did
Yeah.
like from the same
Yeah.
day, a couple hours. He had to try to catch the fleeting light, the instant light
Yeah.
effect. So that had to make the artist had to make a decision, force yourself make a decision to put on the canvas. You couldn't wait. If wait, the color changed, the clouds gone. So I had to mix in color. That's practice the mixing colors. When you see the colors, then you mix it in a very quick instinct, and then you put on the canvas. Then you continue match and mix and paint. So that's also practice your ability to mix in colors. As an artist, as a painter, you're not only painting in the studio. In the studio, you can paint under the studio light for certain still life or figurative, but outside in the nature, it's more colorful. The palette will give you more colors. So that's how I learned plein air is very fun. I go out.
Yeah. 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 As a plein air artist, you work outdoors a lot. How do you choose landscapes to paint when working in plein air?
So typically, I just walk around. For example, if I go to some parks, like some park, so there's a huge space there, like woods, the water, the cloud, the depths. So I'll try to walk around first, maybe spend half hour, 1 hour, just wander around. Oh, I stopped different angle and to look at it from the distance to now. I try to capture the depths, like from the background, middle ground, and foreground. Also certain textures, colors, very interesting for me. Like to as a painter, I try to capture that. So that's how I looking for certain angle. Also the composition, what's the primary image? Like the boat behind here, you can see the red boat, the lady thing, that's the one, the red color, and then the blue water, the cool color. So that make a contrast. Also the other boat behind give me a depth. So I like that, the reflection from the boat. So that's a very interesting angle. So I want to paint that. And like this St. George Island, this piece, the third piece on the same day, morning, afternoon. This is a later afternoon. I paint this one. This is the bigger size. So I finish in 2 days. Like one day or 2 hours, another day I come back. So the first day, I think I try to catch that feeling of the light, and also the ocean. The next day I come back for the reflections for the under the waves. You see those pinkish purple color reflected from the sand. Usually we do not see that, but that during that time, the moment, the day, you see that. Also, every day when I come back, the ocean's color different. One day I come, it's turquoise blue. Another day it's turquoise green. Another day it's like a brownish color. So based on the weather, the time, then you catch the beauty.
And how do your work showcase a cross-cultural perspective of contemporary America?
Landscape is only part of my art creation. Also, I'm a figurative painter. So I teach at FAMU. I paint my students, the African American students on campus. I created about 18 big life-size big painting from 2011 to now. About every year, 1 or 2 pieces. I stretch my own canvas 60 by 80 inches life size. I try to catch the life on campus because when I see my students, I know them every day. I teach them in the class. So their personality, their outfits, like their interesting hair texture, their outfit, they're carrying the backpack on the board, listen to certain music, so their life is very interesting. So I like the dynamic energy on campus. Come and go, they're very young, they're full of energy. So I try to capture that. So that's how in my painting, I took photos of my students. I must paint the people I know. If I don't know that student, I won't paint them. But this student, I know him or her for a while. So I talk to them. I say, oh, I know the personality. Then one day I say, oh, their outfit is so nice. Something will be in my painting. So I took photos, sketch, and then I combine a theme, and then create. That's how cross culture. This is very unique. Also, on Saturdays, I paint ink painting with like a Chinese brush painting. When I was young, I learned Chinese brush painting from that culture. So every Saturday, a group of local artists we call Swan Buddha. So we meet used to at the Forest Meadow. Then we moved to Lemoyne. Then now we're in the 621. About past 15, 13 years, we paint together every Saturday. It's 9:30, 10:30 to 1. So every Saturday I try to finish one portrait ink figure painting for my student. So that's the cross culture. So I using the traditional Chinese brush painting ink on the Xuan paper, and then create African American students campus life here. So that's how I my experience reflects that cross-culture experience.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you had brought your students over to Venvi to show them your works in the exhibition. And as a former art student myself, I really could see how passionate you are with your art and teaching. Does your position as faculty at FAMU have an influence on in your own work? If so, how?
Yes, because as an art professor, you have to show students what you're finished. As a you must be a practicing artist. So I created my painting outside of teaching. So in the painting studio, I set up a corner. I paint over there. So outside class, student can see my progress as a professor. You not only just talk, but you show students what I'm done. So this exhibition, I show them as a field trip. For my painting class, student can see, oh, Professor Nan had created so many paintings outside class, so they had to work outside also. So I lead them to the Railroad Art Park for the plein air assignment, so they work hard on that too. So I want to try to set up as a role model for the student. Also, it's kind of push me to work more. During the past, I teach at FAMU 17 years. This is my 18th year. So I already have 13 solo shows, and then the like 110 group shows, so I have a lot of shows. That's I just keep going, because all of my older professors like Mark Messersmith, Ray Burgram, they have a lot of shows when I was at FSU as a student. So I see, oh, the professor always creates more work. That's how influenced my art.
Yeah. And as a professor at FAMU, what advice would you give to students intending on pursuing art as a career?
I think art career is really tough, because you not only compete with the artist still alive, but also the artist already passed away. So the old masters, so many artists there. Also in the United States, we have over 4,000 universities. Every year, imagine how many art major students graduate. So I always tell my students, you have to show your ability to confidence if you choose as art major. Future, you might be a professional artist. You display your work in the art gallery. That's one direction you can go. Another direction could be the art educator. You could be a art teacher, and also you could be an art administrator. Work for the museum gallery field. So whatever field you work in related to the art, you have that confidence. As a studio artist, you had to create enough work. How you make that work, you had to keep working. Working hobby is very important every day. Daily routine. If you love it, you must spend all of the time into it to contribute to this field. Also the confidence comes from your practice. Practice. You had to be for the studio art, painting and drawing. It's kind of like a hands-on experience. In the class, I demonstrate how to do this technique, how to show them how to achieve that effect using certain technique. So that technique is based on endless practice. So I have a philosophy: you practice 7 times, you can master it. When I learned English in China, you had to memorize 7 times. I can catch it, but you forget and then you continue. So over 7 times, you should achieve the goal. If you still haven't got it, that means you're not really, spend the time but repeat practice. So that's how. Also, art career future. Today, there are more venues like designer, like interior design, commercial design, all related to art. But you learn what you in the class from your teacher or from other classmates. So try to absorb as much as possible. After the undergrad school, you can continue graduate school. Also, graduate school is another venue. You continue to get an MA or MFA or PhD in certain field. So this all will help you for your future art-related career.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure talking with you today.
Thank you.
To learn more about past exhibits like locales and upcoming shows, check out our website at www.venviartgallery.com and click on the Shows tab. From there, you'll be able to see information regarding both upcoming and past exhibitions. As locales is a past exhibition, you'll be able to see the installation images and the press release from the show. Venvi Art Gallery is open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 12:30 to 5:30 p.m. Thank you for watching.